Hey there, welcome back. We're on our practice set 9. You can get started whenever you're ready. Remember to pause your video while doing the problem and set your timer to 60 seconds. I shall see you in a minute. Let's read the question. How many ways can 2 identical red chairs and 4 identical blue chairs be arranged in a row? So imagine that you have 6 chairs. 2 of them are red and 4 of them are blue. If you were to arrange 6 chairs, you would have 6 factorial ways of arranging the chairs. But out of the 6 factorial, there are some repeated. 2 of them are red and 4 of them are blue. So the correct answer would be 6 factorial divided by 2 factorial times 4 factorial. You can plug this on your calculator, or you can simply do it by hand. 6 times 5 times 4. You don't have to do anything farther than 4 factorial because the 4 factorial will cancel out. Divided by 2 factorial, which is essentially 2 times 1. 1 2s are 2, 3 2s are 6, and 5 3s are 15. So there are 15 ways of arranging this. You may have also seen problems that are similar to this where you are arranging letters in a word where the letters are repeated. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Pause your video now and I'll see you in a minute. So if this is a unit circle, the radius has to be 1. The side across from 60 is root 3 over 2. The side across from 30 is half of the hypotenuse, which is half. So the value of x is half and the value of y is root 3 over 2. On your calculator, add these two. It's asking for x plus y, and you have 1.37. Moving on to the next question. Okay, pause your video. 3 minus 2i and 3 plus 2i, which are roots of the quadratic equation. They've given you a bunch of quadratic equations and they're asking which one it is. You know that the roots are figured out by negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a, where a is the number in front of the x squared, b is the number in front of the x, and c is the final number here. So you keep testing each one. I only had to test a and b because I found the answer. It's b. And the first one you find is the correct answer. So negative 6 plus or minus 36 minus 52. So negative 6 divided by 2 immediately gave me negative 3. And I'm looking for a positive 3 here, so we reject A. Try B. Negative of negative 6 is positive 6. The 4ac is the same number, which is negative 16, which is 4i over 2. 3 plus minus 2i, which is what we're looking for. So your correct answer for this question is B. Moving on to the next question now. Try this one. Let's read the question. If 0 degrees is less than x, less than 90, which means that we're really looking at the first quadrant here, and 5 sine squared x is equal to 7 sine x minus 2, what is the value of sine x? Remember, they're not looking for x, they're looking for sine x. So let's go ahead and turn this into a quadratic equation, which is 5 sine squared x minus 7 sine x plus 2 is equal to 0. And if you let sine x be equal to x, it's just an easy way of figuring things out. So I rearranged the equation or rewrote the equation to 5x squared minus 7x plus 2 is equal to 0. And using the quadratic equation, you can get x is 1 or 0.4. Since you want less than 90 degrees, if x is 1, it'll have to be equal to 90 degrees. So that only leaves us with 0.4. So the correct answer is C here. All right, I hope you got this one. Moving on to the next question. Try this one. X is greater than 0. A is x cos theta and b is x sine theta. So a squared is x squared cos squared x or theta, and b is x squared sine squared theta or x. So if we factor the x squared out, you get cos squared x plus sine squared x. So your answer is square root of x squared, which is x. So the correct answer for this one is B. Congratulations if you got this one. Can be pretty easy if you know what you're doing. Okay, here's the next question. Pause your video and try this. All right, the equation of the graph is x minus 2 squared is equal to 4y. Recall the general equation x minus h squared is equal to 4 times a times y minus k. So here I have actually written down x minus, and we have 2. H is equal to 2 squared, 4 times. And since this is 4 here, so that's 4 times 1. So our a value is 1, and it's y minus 0. So k is 0. So that means our vertex is hk, which is 2, 0. Our focus, remember that focus is the distance between the vertex, the distance between the vertex and the focal point is the a value. So if this is my vertex, then 1 up and the point right there is my focal point. So the focus will have to have been 2, 1. Now, an equidistant behind the vertex, and if you draw a line y equals that value, that's your directrix. So focus is 2, 1 and directrix is y equals negative 1. So we're going to kill this one because we know that the vertex is 2, 0. We also know that the focus is 2, 1. We like this, directrix. So that's our correct answer. I hope you got this one. Let's move on. Okay, try this question now. Pause your video. Try and take no more than a minute. The correct answer for this question is D. So let's go ahead and mark D as the correct answer right over here. An equilateral triangle is inscribed in a circle. So here's an equilateral triangle which is inscribed in a circle, whose equation is x squared plus 2x plus y squared minus 4y is equal to 0. So if you completed the square, you would find that the radius squared is 5. So the radius of this circle is square root of 5. So this point from the center to the corner of the triangle, which is the radius, is root 5. From the center to the corner of the triangle is root 5. Pulling out this triangle to the side, we realize, well, this is root 5 right over here as well. It's an isosceles triangle. But you must also recognize this as a 120-degree angle. If this is an equilateral triangle, each of the angles are 60 degrees. So each one of these is 60 degrees. Now if I drew a line from the center to the corner of this equilateral triangle, you end up with 30 degrees here and 30 degrees here. Internal angles of the triangle is 180, which makes this one 120. Now think about just this triangle here with the radius, the two radiuses, root 5 and root 5 pulled out here. Drop a perpendicular line right there. And you have a 30, 60, 90 triangle. If you know the hypotenuse, then the side across from 60 degrees is half of the hypotenuse, which is root 5 over 2 times root 3. So if you plug this in the calculator, you will get an answer of 3.9. Remember to double the answer because you're really looking for the length of AB, which is what they're asking, the length of the side of the triangle, and all of the lengths are equal. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Now, this is a really tricky question. The graph of x squared is equal to 2y plus 3 squared. Now, if you were to bring everything to the left-hand side of the equal sign, set it equal to 0, you will see that it's x squared minus 2y plus 3 squared. Let's rewrite this, letting u be equal to 2y plus 3, and you see that x squared minus u squared can be factored out because it's a difference in square. Plugging the u back in here, you get x plus 2y plus 3 times x minus 2y plus 3 is equal to 0. Distributing the negative across over to negative 2y, negative 3, you end up with x plus 2y plus 3, x minus 2y minus 3 equal to 0. Setting each factor equal to 0, you see that there are two linear equations. So there must be two intersecting lines. If you look at the slopes, they're not perpendicular or anything, but they must be intersecting at some point. Okay, so the answer for this one was E. Moving on to the next question. Try this one. So here they're asking postal rate for the first class mail is 41 cents and 17 cents for each additional ounce. So the cost would be 41 plus the number of ounces minus the first ounce that you paid 41 cents for times 17. So the correct answer should be A. 41 plus n minus 1 times 17. Okay, here's the last question. See if you can do this one, and that's the end of our 10 questions. Okay, so did you get only one solution, B, for this one? The easiest way to do this problem is to go to your graphing calculator and graph y equals absolute value, and that's in your math function, of 2x minus 1, and you'll get something like the blue line here. And the other graph is 4x plus 5, and that's the green one here on your calculator, and you can clearly see that there is only one solution for this set. So the correct answer is B. Okay, thank you very much. I'll see you again. Goodbye.